Ashigaru. The backbone of any samurai army was the Ashigaru, light-footed infantry. Originally, they were temporary peasant levies, but during the Sengoku period, they evolved into professional, full-time soldiers. Armed with long spears called yari and, later, matchlock guns called teppo, they fought in disciplined formations. By the Edo period, in many domains, Ashigaru were formally the lowest rank of the samurai class, and were typically more lightly equipped than higher retainers. A skilled Ashigaru could rise through the ranks, and their collective power on the battlefield could make or break a daimyo's campaign. Samurai. Occupying a space between peasant and true warrior, the samurai were a class of minor rural samurai, who were also small land-holding warriors who managed farms and fulfilled military service, especially before until early Edo. They pledged loyalty to a more powerful lord, but lived on and managed their own small plots of land. During times of peace, they worked the fields alongside commoners, but when the call to war came, they would take up their swords and armor to fight. They were a crucial link between the provincial lords and the agricultural base that supported them. Ronin. A Ronin, or wave man, was a samurai who had no master to serve. This could happen if his lord was defeated in battle, his domain was confiscated by the shogun, or if he was exiled in disgrace. Unbound by loyalty and without a stipend, Ronin were a volatile and often romanticized class. Some became mercenaries, bodyguards, or even teachers, while others turned to banditry. They were a symbol of both the freedom and the deep insecurity that existed just outside the rigid feudal structure. Samurai. This was the quintessential samurai, the loyal warrior in direct service to a daimyo. These samurai did not own their own land, but lived in the castle town of their lord and received a hereditary stipend, or salary, measured in koku of rice. Their entire life was dedicated to their lord's service and the mastery of martial arts, governed by the strict honor code of Bushido. During the long peace of the Edo period, their role often shifted from active warrior to that of a bureaucrat, administrator, or scholar. Hatamoto. The Hatamoto were the elite of the samurai class, the direct high-ranking vassals of the shogun himself. The name means under the banner, signifying their privileged position as the shogun's personal guard and inner circle. They were direct retainers with the right to a personal audience and were usually paid stipends. Some held small fiefs under 10,000 koku. A koku was the standard unit for income and domain size, roughly 180 liters of rice. Lords with 10,000 koku or more were classed as daimyo. The Hatamoto served in the most important administrative and military positions within the central government in Edo, forming the powerful and trusted core of the shogun's personal power base. Daimyo. The daimyo were the powerful regional lords who ruled over the provinces of Japan. They were the Japanese equivalent of European dukes and earls, controlling vast lands and commanding their own armies of loyal samurai. Their power was a direct measure of their domain's productivity, calculated in koku of rice. To prevent them from becoming too powerful and rebelling, the shogun enforced a system called sankin kotai, which required every daimyo to spend every other year in the capital city, a hugely expensive practice that kept them loyal and financially in check. Shogun. While officially second, the shogun was the true ruler of Japan for most of its feudal history. The title, meaning great general, was granted by the emperor to the most powerful military leader in the land. The shogun controlled the government, known as the bakufu or tent government, made the laws, and commanded the absolute loyalty of all the daimyo. While he always paid respect to the emperor's divine status, it was the shogun who held the real political and military power, a dynamic that defined the era. Emperor. At the very pinnacle of the hierarchy, a figure of immense spiritual and cultural importance, was the emperor. Believed to be a direct descendant of the sun goddess Amaterasu, he was regarded as the ultimate source of legitimacy, though his role was largely ceremonial for much of the period. As the great military clans rose to prominence, the emperor became a figurehead, living in splendid isolation in his palace in Kyoto. He performed the sacred rituals essential to the nation's well-being, but the day-to-day rule of Japan was left to the shogun. Thanks for watching. Do you think the strict samurai hierarchy made Japan stronger or held it back? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to see more.